Good morning, Dan and Amy. Welcome to the sixth branch of the U.S. military. Donald Trump's Space Force announced yesterday.
When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It is going to be something so important. General Dunford, if you would carry that assignment out, I would be very greatly honored also. Where's General Dunford?
Hey, where'd you go?
Where'd you go? Hey, you. Come here. Come on.
Got it? Let's go get it, General.
Let's go do it. Let's go do it. We're boldly going where no man has gone before.
We're going to Space Force. It reminds me of Mel Brooks' Spaceballs. Remember that? You know,
There is, it is the final frontier. It is the final frontier.
Okay, thank you.
Space. Just so we're establishing, baseline here.
Is this needed? 312-642-5600.
Needed? No, we're past that.
Oh.
Who is going to command President Trump's Space Force? That's the question.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, not a quick comment.
You just heard him. I mean, he called Dunford. He said, "This is done."
Get up here. Where is he? Where's that little rascal? Get up here.
We're ready to launch.
Can't stop.
So you mentioned one nominee. I would say that should be under consideration. Okay. Dark Helmet.
Prepare ship for light speed.
No. Light speed is too slow.
Light speed too slow?
Yes, we're going to have to go right to ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed? Sir, we've never gone that fast before. I don't know if the ship can take us.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
There you go. Some of Mel Brooks' best work.
Here, good.
Steve on 88 suggests Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah, because Space Jam
Bingo.
could easily translate into Space Force.
Uh-huh. I think you have to consider somebody that you know.
Who?
You've flown on the good ship Adama, haven't you? Admiral Adama, okay. Commander of Battlestar Galactica.
This is the Admiral. All hands, brace for turbulence.
Is that the line he used on you?
Before he shoved his tongue down my throat. Oh, come
gross.
on. No, come on. I wasn't expecting it either.
I would, and I'll tell you what. I'll give everybody anybody who understands this reference, who knows this reference, okay. My unyielding admiration.
Oh, and that's so important.
You can't put a price on that.
No, you can't.
You want a T-shirt? Or you want my unyielding admiration? Captain Malcolm Reynolds.
Oh.
I think it's got to. Do you know who that is?
I'm looking it up right now.
I'll be impressed.
I'm still embarrassed.
I'll be impressed if
Edward
anybody
James
gets it.
Olmos. Captain.
He was. He did.
Stop. Who? What? Who are we on to now?
I mean, back in the Castillo days of Vice, I could understand it.
Oh my God! Can you just stop talking about it?
So here's the thing. I think it should be somebody who has played it shouldn't be an actual astronaut or actual general. It should be somebody who's just played one on TV.
And who was that last person you suggested, Captain?
Malcolm Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Bob in Buffalo Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks for taking my call, Dan and Amy. I'm going to go back to my childhood, before you guys were even born. Either Captain Video or Captain Midnight.
Oh boy.
In the that goes back to the early 50s. The kids program.
Captain Video and his Video Rangers. Yeah.
Yep, and then also Captain Midnight.
All right. Thanks for the call, Bob.
I got one. Flash Gordon.
Yeah, okay.
Wasn't he in Ted 2? Well, he was in Ted. The character who played Flash Gordon. Not that you saw Ted or Ted 2.
I did see them. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay.
Thunder buddies.
Tom and Deer Park.
Hi, good morning. I lack the cultural references to be of assistance on this segment. The Star Wars, Star Trek, not my thing. But I'm an old enough conservative to remember when we used to be in favor of limited government, against taxes and, fraud and waste. But you know what? Sign me up, sign me on. I'm probably too old to be a member of the Corps, but I'm willing to spend and waste my tax dollars on the great President Trump's latest idea, and I'm totally on board.
Final Frontier, Tom. Thanks for the call.
Well, the Air Force already has a division called Space Command.
Yeah.
So why do we need a Space Force?
Nobody is suggesting James Tiberius Kirk. Wow.
So if you sign up for the
How the
Space
mighty
Force,
have fallen.
I mean, then can you get free college later on if you commit to Space Force for 2 years? Then will the government pay for your higher education?
Do you need letters?
Is it just like the Army or the Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard?
Getting into West
Yeah.
Point. So do you need like letters from your senators, for your home state
congressmen.
senators to get into Space Force? Kurt in Bolingbrook.
Hey, Dan. Now, I like Trump, but maybe he was up late at night watching the end of Moonraker, where he got the idea of the Space Force.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good reference.
That's they opened up the shuttle, which we don't have anymore, but out come the troops with the lasers shooting at each other.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Kurt. Also, there's a great old terrible movie that was parodied on MST3K. That's Mystery Science Theater 3000 for the layman.
Wow, you are such a nerd.
Teenagers from Outer Space.
Oh.
That was pretty good.
God, that's digging deep.
Somebody Monica on Twitter got my Malcolm.
It's
Malcolm
the guy
Reynolds.
from Firefly, right?
Well, you looked it up. That doesn't
No,
count.
I didn't look it up. Keith Conrad texted it to me.
That's the same thing. Very good Monica on Twitter who got it without looking it up, I presume.
Was that a great series or something?
That's pretty good.
That's a guy from Castles.
From Castle, singular.
Castle.
Yeah.
Castle.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Do I have a poster in my room? Maybe. Eric in Crystal Lake. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, wasn't it President Reagan's Star Wars program that ended the Cold War with Russia?
I don't know that it was the idea of Star Wars exclusively, but it certainly was the arms race combined with the internal contradictions of the Soviet Union that ended the Cold War, yeah. So we're not allowed to make fun of Trump? Is that what you're saying? Come on, Eric. Thanks for the call. Lighten up.
I mean,
I got a tweet from Kevin Rooney, too. Do you think President Xi of China is laughing about the Space Force? I don't.
President Xi right now is with Kim Jong-un.
And I do think he's giggling about it. Maybe not full belly laugh.
Well,
maybe
do you
a
think
little
Putin's
giggle.
giggling about it?
He'd be giggling at this segment if people would lighten up.
Well, where's the home base going to be? I mean, we need to know.
Space station.
Duh, Amy.
Or it'll be on Mars, where Sheila Jackson Lee thinks Neil Armstrong planted an American flag. Jay in Highland, Indiana.
Morning, Dan and Aim. Pleasure to speak with you again. Let me play devil's advocate. Let's think about this seriously for a second. Granted, we all see little green men bouncing around in spacecraft and stuff when we think about a Space Force, but let's be realistic about it. With the amount of equipment and money that we have tied up in space, not to mention the security component of it, might not be a bad idea to have some sort of defense. So when Dan's brother Elon Musk has a spaceship that goes up there, somebody hijacks our satellites down with rockets, we can do something to deter that.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks.
All right, thanks. Well, if Jay, if it's to protect Elon Musk, then of course I'm in, obviously. Well, and also too, I mean, we still need to rescue George Clooney from space.
Oh, in that
Gravity.
Gravity.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts got back, right?
Sandra Bullock
Or Sandra
was in that
Bullock.
movie. I don't know if Julia
I did
Roberts
see it.
did get
Sorry.
back. I don't know. You mean from that whatever the
That thing.
plantation or from Osage County? Are you talking about? Is that Zach in Downers Grove?
You know, you go to all these sporting events and other events, and they have the recruitment booths for the military. I was just wondering if the next booth for Space Force was going to be at Comic-Con.
That's you know what? That is a great idea. There's a large pool, of talent there that you could recruit.
There's no question. Thanks for the call, Zach. Matt in Fox River Grove.
Yeah, it's got to be Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
Doc,
sure.
Space Force Commander. He'd be awesome.
Thank you, Matt. That's a good one.
I've got a
Back to
text
the
message
Future.
here. This Space Force makes perfect sense. A military force that could knock out enemy satellites seems like a great idea.
Yeah, fine. You play along. Stop being so serious. Why are you always so serious?
Yeah, right.
Diane in Kankakee.
I was thinking we could revive Dr. Smith and the characters from Lost in Space.
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, they have been revived, right?
revived.
There's a Netflix series now.
Yeah, and the little kids from Blaine Elementary.
Oh, thanks for the call,
Well,
Diane.
actor.
Appreciate
Moved
it.
up to Toronto.
Really?
There's all the little,
Why didn't Peyton or Eli get that gig?
Because I'm not one of those moms pushing them into the arts.
Yeah.
I keep them on the courts.
You're
with a
not one
ball
of
in their hand.
You're not one of those moms like the Blaine kid in Lost in Space who wants to retire.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.